Think before you speak. Read before you think. In real life, I assure you, there is no such thing as algebra. A book is not supposed to be a mirror. It's supposed to be a door. There is no such thing as inner peace. There is only nervousness and death. Life is something that happens when you can't get to sleep. As a teenager, you are at the last stage in your life when you will be happy to hear that the phone is for you. I love sleep because it is both pleasant and safe to use. Sleep is death without the responsibility. The best fame is a writer's fame. It's enough to get a table at a good restaurant, but not enough to get you interrupted when you eat. Romantic love is mental illness, but it's a pleasurable one. Your life story would not make a good book. Don't even try. The opposite of talking isn't listening. The opposite of talking is waiting. All God's children are not beautiful. Most of God's children are, in fact, barely presentable. I believe in talking behind people's backs. That way, they hear it more than once. I prefer dead writers because you don't run into them at parties. To lose yourself in a book is the desire of the bookworm. I mean to be taken. That is my desire. Success didn't spoil me. I've always been insufferable. Great people talk about ideas. Average people talk about things. And small people talk about wine. I write so slowly. I could write with my own blood and not hurt myself. Ask your child what he wants for dinner, only if he's buying. If your sexual fantasies were truly of interest to others, they would no longer be fantasies. If you are a dog, and your owner suggests that you wear a sweater, suggest that he wear a tail. All the time I'm not writing, I feel like a criminal. If you are of the opinion that the contemplation of suicide is sufficient evidence of a poetic nature, remember that actions speak louder than words. When Toni Morrison said, "Write the book you want to read," she didn't mean everybody. I am not the type who wants to go back to the land. I am the type who wants to go back to the hotel. I must take issue with the term, "a mere child," for it has been my invariable experience that the company of a mere child is infinitely preferable to that of a mere adult. I am not a callous sort. I believe that all people should have warm clothing, sufficient food, and adequate shelter. First of all, nature is by and large to be found out of doors, a location where there are never enough comfortable chairs. Women who insist upon having the same options as men would do well to consider the option of being the strong, silent type. Being offended is the natural consequence of leaving one's home. I place a high moral value on the way people behave. Courtesy is politeness of the heart. Democracy is an interesting notion. It emerges as the most palatable form of government. Children ask better questions than adults. Reading is better than life. Without reading, you're stuck with life. This will give you something to think about that you didn't make up yourself. Owing to conditions that prevail in the world of letters, it is now possible for a girl to be ruined by a book. Red is frequently associated with passion, because it is the color of fire. There is such a thing as arson. People love to feel superior to their past. Almost immediately upon entering the 13th year of life, a chubby little child becomes a big fat girl. The only appropriate reply to, "Can I be Frank?" is yes, if I can be Barbara. Wearing dark glasses at the breakfast table is acceptable only if you are legally blind, or it's a total eclipse. Scientists are rarely among the fun people. Talk is cheap. A kiss is just a kiss. But manuscripts do not type themselves. I would much rather stay here and be a bad guest. I get up feeling curiously unrefreshed. Rome is a very loony city. Fellini makes documentaries. If you must give your child lessons, send him to driving school. The common good is not my cup of tea. It is the uncommon good that interests me. The conversational overachiever is someone whose grasp exceeds his reach. Flight 477 to Minneapolis will depart before the paperback is out. As a practicing member of several oppressed minority groups, I have conducted myself with the utmost decorum. Life is something to do when you can't get to sleep. Being a woman is of special interest only to aspiring male transsexuals.